Many people have said, Jarrett, you always talk about the same turntables. And they're right. So today I figured we would sort of switch it up and check out the brand new Fluance RT-85. Hey friends, welcome back to Eyezz. I am Jarrett New, and today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Fluance RT-85, which came out a few months ago and seems like a pretty big improvement over their last model, the RT-81. Now, in addition to checking out how it works and the sound quality and the build quality and all that good stuff, I'm also going to be pairing it with the Fluance speakers, which they sent me about 2 years ago. And that way we can kind of keep everything in-house and hear what the entire Fluance system sounds like as a whole. Now, full disclosure, Fluance did send me this turntable to review, but all of the thoughts and opinions I have about it are my own. So with all that being said, today's song of the day is You Say by Lauren Daigle. It's a really cool, uplifting song that I've been listening to lately. And if you have a suggestion for a song of the day, post in the comments down below, and you might see it in a future video. Alright, now let's open this sucker up. So here it is, and this is everything that's included in the box. So we get the turntable, the dust cover, the Ortofon 2M blue cartridge, the acrylic platter and the belt that's attached to that, a bubble level, a counterweight, the AC power cable, 2 ground wires, a 45 RPM adapter, the RCA cables, a little plastic cap that covers the motor, the user manual, a little booklet which shows you other Fluance gear, and last of all, a pair of white gloves. Now, I think the gloves are kind of interesting because I've never gotten any audio product like ever which came with a pair of white gloves. So I think that's kind of a nice touch from Fluance that they included these in the box. And although they are a bit too small for my hands, I appreciate them nonetheless. Basically, kind of what they're saying is, we know you just bought a super nice turntable and we don't want you to get smudges on it. So I think that's kind of cool. So if you're OCD about stuff like that and you don't want smudges on it, then you can put these on. Now let's talk about the build quality. So when you first take everything out of the box, it's pretty clear that this thing is built to last. The plinth and the acrylic platter both feel solid and heavy. And in the turntable world, heavy is definitely a good thing. You want heavy. That's what you're looking for. So as I've said in the past, turntables aren't meant to be portable. They're not meant to be lugged around to different places. They're meant to basically stay in one fixed location. Usually like on a very sturdy shelf or on a table or something like that, kind of as the centerpiece of your bedroom or living room. So the build quality on this one is much beefier than their previous model, and I really like that. Also, the fact that it has an acrylic platter is really cool because that means you don't even need a record mat. All you gotta do is basically just pop the record down right there on the acrylic platter and drop the needle. That's it. So that's pretty cool. Now, another thing I really like about this turntable are the isolation feet. We get 3 of them, and they're kind of springy, and they can all be raised or lowered independently of the others. So basically, you just turn them clockwise or counterclockwise, and they'll raise up or lower, and that way you can achieve the perfect balance. So that's kind of cool. You just use that little bubble level that it comes with, and you should be able to get it spot on. Now, another little detail that I noticed is that the hinges of the dust cover right here actually snap onto it and they stay attached to it. So basically, if you want to remove the entire dust cover assembly, like I do whenever I play my music, the whole thing is going to come off as one solid piece. Now, you might be asking yourself, Jarrett, who cares, right? Why are you even mentioning this? This is such a minor thing. Well, the thing is, with my other turntable, every time I would go to remove the dust cover, these little hinges, because they were separated, they would fall back behind this dresser right here. And it was so annoying because I'd have to find some way to fish them out, and it wasn't fun. So I'm kind of glad that Fluance solved that problem with these little snap-on hinges. It's a really smart design, so I just figured it'd be worth mentioning. Now, here's how you set everything up. First of all, like most high-end turntables, the RT-85 does not come with a built-in preamp. So Fluance thankfully also sent us their PA10 phono preamplifier, which looks like this. Now, this one is actually an early prototype, so the new ones look a little bit different on the outside, but they function the exact same way. So basically, what you have to do is connect the first RCA cable from the turntable to the input of the preamp. And and then with a second RCA cable, connect that from the output of the preamp to the input of your receiver. Now, the next thing you have to do is essentially repeat this process with the two included ground wires. So yet again, connect the first ground wire from the turntable to the preamp, and the second ground wire from the preamp to the receiver. So basically what I'm saying is all of the wires run from the turntable to the preamp to the receiver, and then of course the receiver is connected to the speaker. So yet again, like I've said in many videos, that's the vinyl audio setup. Those are the four things you need to make this whole thing work: turntable, preamp, amplifier, and speakers. Once again, turntable, preamp, amplifier, and speakers. That's the entire vinyl audio setup. Now, getting back to that second ground wire, since my receiver does not actually have a ground connection on the back, I was getting a constant buzzing sound, which many of you guys have probably already experienced before, and you already know what that sounds like. So to get rid of that annoying sound, I had to find some way to ground that second wire. So basically all I did was I just connected it to the FM radio antenna post on the back. I wasn't using the radio, and I had not connected an antenna, so it kind of seemed like the best option because it was solid metal. And to keep that ground wire in place, I just used some simple gaff tape. So it's holding it pretty well, and the buzzing sound stopped. So that's good. Now, I don't know if I'd recommend this method, but it worked for me. Alright, now most importantly, how does this thing sound? Well, unfortunately, due to YouTube's really stupid copyright policies, I can't actually play any records for you. But I will say that once you have the cartridge aligned perfectly, the sound of the Ortophon 2M Blue really shines. So to help you set it up perfectly, Fluance does include a protractor on the very last page of the manual. So basically, you can just cut that out, place it on the spindle, and adjust the top screws of the 2M Blue cartridge until it hits both of these marks perfectly. Also, feel free to check out this video that I made right up here, which will show you the alignment process in more detail. Now, getting back to the sound of this turntable, once you've set up everything properly, the sound is going to be very accurate. So it's basically going to reveal what your records truly sound like without any distortion or audio glitches or anything like that, which would take you out of the music. So basically, if your records are kind of scratched up, you're going to hear that. Or on the flip side, if your records are in mint condition, they're going to sound incredible, probably better than they've ever sounded. So in that sense, this really is a reference turntable. Now, as I said earlier, I do have it hooked up to a pair of Fluance bookshelf speakers, and they sounded okay, but since I want to hear every single detail of this turntable, and since the acoustics of this room are okay, but they're not perfect, I listened to most of this music on my listening tests with headphones. And I gotta say, that's probably like 90% of the way I listen to most of my music. I really love how headphones can just basically shut off the entire world and you're just zoning out totally like in your own head. And you can just concentrate fully on active listening. It's nice. So to fully test the turntable, I listened to a lot of different genres of music. Everything from Jose Gonzalez to Tool, The Carpenters, Black Sabbath, my new ambient Brian Eno record, Ambient 4 on Land, Antonio Carlos Jobim, my Vinyl Moon records, Jimi Hendrix, Ohm, The Cure, and a ton of 45 singles. And overall, the more records I played, the more I just really fell in love with this turntable. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for the price, this is the best sounding turntable that I've come across so far. So with all of that being said, the most important question is this the right turntable for you? Well, if sound is really important to you and you want a turntable that's gonna last you a long time and you don't mind spending a little more, then yes, this is definitely the turntable for you. So if you want to check it out for yourself and check out all the specifications and get the current price, I'm going to drop the link in the video description down below for you to check out. Now, what turntable do you have at home and what features are the most important to you? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you love vinyl records and music in general but still haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit this red button so you won't miss out on the new videos. And most important of all, friends, have an awesome day and keep spinning that vinyl. I think I have a new favorite turntable.